the channel Gay Day only happens once per week. Hey everyone, it's PercyActiveGames.com here, and today we're going to be talking about the new memo from the Trump administration regarding new policies about trans plus people. So,
definitions of sex and maybe gender.
Maybe.
Like I couldn't tell. Like the articles, they haven't leaked the actual memo as far as I can tell. And the articles sort of float in and out of whether gender was mentioned or not.
Yeah.
Whether sex and gender are defined biologically at birth, or whether just sex is defined biologically at birth. I couldn't tell, but let's just kind of say both. And I don't know, we'll talk about the distinctions between them and what it would mean.
Right.
But please, go.
Okay, so the basis of what is happening is that the Trump administration wants to very strictly define sex as your gender designated at birth. So
Well, your sex designated at birth.
birth, yeah. So
based on biological factors.
Yes, based on
primarily genitalia and maybe DNA.
maybe chromosomes, yeah. So,
Yeah, which would be DNA.
Which would be DNA, but I'm specifying chromosomes.
Right, yeah.
Which,
Yes.
it's very unclear.
Really, they sort of just say whatever was on your birth certificate is your sex
and then you
for the
can't
rest of
change
your
it.
life. And
Yeah.
it's
So-
immutable without like genetic studies to
Yeah, I
prove
know,
that
it's
you can
really
change it.
weird.
Yeah.
So essentially that's sort of defining trans people out of existence.
Yeah, so it does away with, potentially does away with the concept of being trans, right?
Yeah,
And
not great.
There's a couple of different, like as I read it, right? There's sort of, there's a couple of different things, ways you can read it. So let's say it just says sex.
Yeah.
Sex is defined as your like biological traits at birth, right? It doesn't say anything about gender. What it is saying that makes that important is, this is all about Title IX, by the way, and the idea that you can't be discriminated against based on your sex.
Yes.
Right? And so, like up until now, you've said, go ahead.
Up until now, gender has been, I think that's what we say, sex is unequal gender, but under Title IX, people have interpreted it as including gender as well, and so trans people get protections from Title IX.
Yeah, so Title IX says you can't be discriminated against by your sex, but it doesn't define what sex means.
Yes.
And by and large, it's been accepted to include gender identity or gender presentation.
Yes.
Right? And so what the administration would be trying to do in that case is remove gender identification from those protections.
Yeah.
So you're only protected basically if you're discriminated against because of your genitalia.
Yes.
Right? Not because of the way that you present, or because all of that would be okay. If you are, like assigned female at birth and you present in a very masculine way, or you present as a man, you could be discriminated against for your presentation.
Yes.
But not for your biological sex, which is a real kind of crappy place to go.
Definitely,
Right?
for sure.
So even if the memo doesn't say anything about gender, it's destroying this concept and making it legal to discriminate against gender presentation.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible thing. In a lot of
For
ways.
sure.
In a lot of ways.
Even
right?
for people who aren't trans.
And
and
this, you're gonna have to watch me here. So if you are transgendered in the sense that you are changing your gender or you're gender fluid, then this law doesn't protect you against doing those things.
Yes.
If you are in such a sense that you are changing your sex, then there's no such thing as that anymore.
Yeah.
According to this, like federally recognized, right? And those are two different things, right?
Right.
Like I'm right that those are two different things.
Yes, you cannot legally change your sex anymore.
Yeah.
So gender presentation, let's just
But
changing-
transgender is
socially
an umbrella term for both of those things, I assume.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes. So socially transitioning it can be made illegal, but not by this. Socially transitioning you can do.
Sure.
Because that's right to free speech, gender presentation. You can
Right.
do that.
Yep.
But you can no longer change your markers, your gender markers, which
when you
on
check a
your
form.
documents,
Right.
or on your driver's license, etc., etc. You can no longer change any of that. So binary trans people, I think this is probably mostly affecting because I don't think there is a neither option.
Yeah, of course.
So,
right. Yeah.
but
Wasn't in the memo for sure.
yeah, that wasn't in the memo for sure. But like binary trans people, will now be forced, I assume, to have all their documents say there.
Oh, absolutely. And like that was
So-
one of the concerns was like if you get a job and you're filling out your paperwork, you have to use the sex identification on your birth certificate.
Yes.
Right? And so if you are trans and you're living your life as a man, and you consider yourself a man and you go by male pronouns and you're living your life as a man.
Yeah.
When you get a job and you fill out your paperwork, you have to put female on the paperwork.
Yep.
Right? And like that's nobody's business to sort of have to expose
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
totally.
Like this is so that's what's going on. And none of us I think thought that this was going to happen so rapidly after you made that last video about the importance of voting. And the
Yeah.
importance of rights being taken away, right? Just
Right.
like hours
I wasn't
after.
ignoring it. It was
Yeah,
literally
like
hours after I saw the video.
that memo
I
came
was
out.
like, ugh.
I'm like, oh my god, this is exactly what Presley was just talking about and what John Barrowman warned us about. And so yeah, it's really kind of horrific, right? And
Absolutely, I am.
So that's kind of what's going on, and it's kind of a terrible thing. And I just want to
Kind of
say,
a terrible
no,
thing?
it is a terrible thing. My perspective, I think we've talked about this before, right? Like, it just doesn't impact me.
I know. Like, why
Like, it's
would you
not,
care?
Like if someone how someone identifies, like what someone's gender identity is, just has nothing to do with me.
Right.
Like, and
it's not your problem.
I say it like not in an offensive way at all, but I don't care. Like it just doesn't.
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
matter to me.
clarify, like, you don't care whether someone presents, not that you don't care how they present.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's up to you.
Yeah,
It's not
it's
up
not
to
my
me.
problem.
Like that's what I'm saying. It's not up to me. Right.
Yeah.
And like I equate it, and I did it in one of our earlier videos. I equate it to like, I know your name's Brian, but you kind of look like an Eric. So I'm gonna call you Eric.
Yeah,
Right.
you're Eric.
Like I'm gonna use the name that I think you should use.
Right, which
Right.
is dumb.
Or like when you used to be misgendered a lot when you were.
Yeah. Well,
when you
turns
were- when you were younger. That and so like that was a whole like but it doesn't whatever. Like
Whatever.
you tell me what your pronouns are and what your gender is and what those things are and I'll use them.
Yeah,
Like that
your
seems
name,
like basic
cool.
respect. To
For a
me.
human.
Yeah, right? Like I don't get why
That's a human
people
person.
are so up in arms around like this particular topic. This
I
just
know.
seems really, really strange to me.
Yeah, and people just be wild and what? It doesn't matter to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. It has
Weird,
zero impact on me.
on your life
Whether I call you he or she.
or anything else.
Yeah. Like I don't
Sometimes grammar can be hard. You learned grammar in like first grade.
Well,
Just
no,
do
but
it.
like I said, like yeah, I don't know. Like
Learn it.
I don't care enough to mispronoun you,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Because I have to actively do that as like an act of spite.
I
And be
know.
like, no, I'm going to impose
does
my
that make you
view
feel?
of what your pronouns should be on you. I don't need
I
that.
know. That's like so like whatever.
I think that's what makes it baffling to me.
I know.
Like I don't like why do you
not my
even
problem.
care? Like why is it a
Like,
problem for you? To
you
do that?
will call like celebrities by their chosen stage names.
Sure.
It's not like you're
Yeah.
going to be calling everyone by their full name.
Yeah, I don't know.
And like you will call
And so I will. The other thing that I'll say is, in this case, it was really in this case. I think I was posting about over on my Facebook because I'm old.
yeah, he has
Um,
great taste. Yeah. No one is surprised.
Like, I honestly, I don't think Trump cares about this issue.
You think he's pandering?
Yeah, he's totally pandering. Like
Yeah.
he's just doing it. And I was saying, like, I don't know if I should be more offended that Trump would do something like this to rile up his base, or that this is the kind of thing that riles up Trump's base. Like, which of those two things is more offensive? Like, I think both. But like, I really don't think that Trump himself has this ideology that's anti-trans or anti-LGBT even at all, right? I mean, look at the whole Caitlyn Jenner thing and like whatever. But like, I don't think he believes this. But I think he believes that it helps him.
Yeah.
Right, that it's politically expedient for him to do this, and that to me is almost as horrifying as the actual actions that he's taking.
Yeah.
Like he's not doing it out of a place of like believing something like this. Like Pence, on the other hand, like I totally believe Pence thinks this is absolutely the right thing to do.
Yeah, this
Right?
is why we don't want to impeach just Trump. We want Pence out too.
So yeah, I don't like. I think if Pence were doing this, I would be like, oh, like Pence believes this, and this is his ideology, and he's enforcing his ideology, right? Which is again a terrible thing to do. But like with Trump, I don't think he even believes it. Like I think he
Yeah.
just thinks it's the best thing to do.
Yeah, which is not great. Yeah, you guys who've been watching for a couple months, you remember that video I did on the trans ban in the military a while ago? And I said
a couple of months
this-
ago, but yeah.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But I said this might happen.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean this might actually happen.
Right.
That was a hypothetical question.
And so soon after, yeah. What if someday they say that trans people don't exist?
Yeah, it's like, what if someday they do that?
Yeah, yeah. So I guess the bottom line is go vote.
Please. Okay, it is. I'm pretty sure 2/3 of eligible voters didn't vote. Or
Yeah, I think
maybe
that's
a
right.
third. Either 2/3 or something measured in thirds.
Yeah.
Not a good thing.
A lot.
A lot of people
More
who were
people
eligible
didn't
to
vote
vote
than voted. I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did not vote. Why? This is what you get when you don't vote. This happens. Go vote. Vote in the midterms too. Vote in all the elections you can. Please vote in the presidential. Hey.
Well, that's kind of cool, actually.
Ooh.
Right, let's leave that.
Yeah. Please vote in the presidential elections. Please.
Yeah, and like I will say too, like whoever you're going to go support and vote for, like go vote.
Yeah.
Like participate in the process. Don't like inherit what other people put upon you. So even if you're going to go vote in ways that I wouldn't vote, go vote. Like be out there and make your voice heard.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
Ooh, that lighting's changing a lot.
Yeah. I think it's the TV's changing.
Oh,
We're lit
yeah.
on the TV a little bit. Okay. Anything else, or is that kind of what we're gonna say?
No, please vote. This is not good. It's very bad. Protest about this. Please do that. Get your voice out there. Be heard. And just gonna see what else happens before 2020.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I want to see what happens before next week's Gay Day.
I know.
I mean,
At
who
least-
knows what we'll be talking about when
At
that
least
rolls
I have
around.
things to talk about.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, these
But,
things write themselves these days.
Yeah, I know. It's completely wild. I didn't think this would happen. I was talking with mommy though. I'm gonna be so cool because I'll have so many stories about this when I'm older because I grew up in this. And like, you know how like older people will tell stories about like World War II.
Yeah.
This is my World War II. I want to talk about this. And it's wild because I totally thought
You'll be the Carolyn in your conversation.
it's wild.
Yeah.
It's like I totally thought prior to 2016 that I would just have, like a regular, boring life. I wouldn't have these cool stories.
No, you do.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
No.
Okay, cool. Let's get out of here.
So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to press the subscribe button down below to see more videos like this. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Go vote.
Please.
Probably right now. It's fine.
Yeah,
Go
go
early,
vote.
early vote.
Do it.
Mail in.
Do it. Bye. Make sure you're registered too.